I'm loving all the AI art generated images of the female space marines out there. Basically, just to bring everyone up to speed, real quick on what's been happening.
What would you need AR art for when they already exist? I was told.
True. Just to bring everyone up to speed, for those that don't know, may not know, whatever, the situation with Warhammer, and again, Bo may be, bringing you up to speed on this as well. Periodically, Warhammer Games Workshop releases codex, which sort of update for the new era, the new year, the new, they sort of retcon some bits and pieces here and there necessarily, or add some lore here and there. And part of the new retcon part of the new codex anyway, has been, hey, there's always been female Adeptus Custodes, which are, there was an inbuilt reason as to why there couldn't be women. There were always men. Obviously, they've always been men. Everyone knows they've always been men. And the official Warhammer Twitter account decided to gaslight everyone by saying, no, there's always been women. And it's probably one of their most viewed tweets. They have like 130,000 followers on Twitter. This tweet has like 4 million views. It's crazy. And there's been a big boycott now, basically, of Games Workshop, people cancelling their Games Workshop Plus, their Warhammer Plus, whatever it is, because we live in an age where people don't need a company like Games Workshop because there are such things as 3D printers. So that's kind of bringing you up to speed on it. Hopefully, if you didn't know anything, anyone else in the chat, and also Bo. But the latest, as if this wasn't a severe indictment of where they're at, Games Workshop CFO has now decided to sell 2/3 of her shares.
Oh, whoa!
She should have sold all of it.
And she's real close to selling all of it. She's darn close.
What
do you say to that?
Can I chime in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing to say is that I know loads about 40k. I played 40k from the time I was about 8 years old.
My bad. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I know loads of the lore. My older brother is still massively into it. He's one of those. Is he
going to buy a 3D printer?
He's one of those guys. No, I don't think so. He's one of those guys who sort of knows the lore for a few different universes: Star Wars universe, 40k universe, Lord of the Rings stuff. Sort of knows it almost encyclopedic. It's quite impressive, or sad, whatever you want to look at it. You wouldn't mind me saying that. So no, 40k. I know loads about 40k. Okay, so a big part of my childhood in a way, and stayed up to. But okay, now just moving across to a CFO who sells a big chunk of their stock. That's crazy. Usually, in the normal course of events, that could cause a stock to collapse, something like that. You don't do that if you're if you're a CEO or COO or CFO and you hold loads of stock in your own company and you sell it, you dump a lot of it. What's the market's going to think? They're going to think, what does this guy know? There's something wrong. There's something profoundly wrong inside that company. All sorts of risk alarms going off. I'm going to dump whatever I'm holding of it. That's sort of mad news. Secondly, where it says the CFO is a her. Probably no. So no, it's mad what they're doing. Space Marines are men, and they already brought out the Sisters of Battle years ago. The Adepta Sororitas. They already had female human warriors in the universe. Though. Right? Yeah, it's not enough. Yeah, it's not enough. They actually want Space Marines to be sort of transgender and stuff. It's weird and disgusting. And of course, the fan base of 99% blokes are not interested in any of this. It's mental. Just to see this play out again and again and again in every single facet of our world, that a company is infiltrated by this nonsense, and then they try to subvert it inside out and tank it, like the Bud Light thing, getting that goddamn tranny to do the Bud Light thing. Like, what do they think? What are they thinking? Anyway, that's it. I'm done.
Coach.
Well, I mean, Miss Tongue certainly.
I'm so
Rick
glad I'm
Rod, I
off the
love it.
hook today.
Yeah. Miss Tongue, the CFO over there at Games Workshop, has certainly licked the toilet bowl on this one. And exactly that's what happened. You ended up with people going, wait a minute, this was already trending downward. Not a lot, 5% over the last, several months, but selling off 865,000. Do you know how much each of these shares is worth? It's like insane how much the share is worth. But anyway, so yeah, she sold off $865,000 worth of it. That's insane to me. And look, it's not a good sign. The things are going sideways. At least that's what that indication is. I'd be worried. She's reduced her investment down to like what 0.0 something percent of what she actually holds in the company. That's not great.
So she's like
but
a
look,
Disney shareholder on the board.
Well, this is what I was just about to say is always be very wary of any company where anyone in the higher up positions then have a vested interest in the company being a success. Like she has no vested interest now in this company she works for being a success other than her paycheck, right? Like companies, the higher ups need to have an actual investment in the business, to I guess almost sort of push them to do their fiduciary duty to the shareholders and actually make it successful rather than just go, nah, we're just gonna I don't know, slap a vagina on these people now. It's all fine. Don't you worry about it. It's like, right, cool, nonsense.
If Warren Buffett sold 2/3 of Berkshire Hathaway in one go, that would be mad. If Zuckerberg sold 2/3 of Facebook, like the market would absolutely destroy that stock, rightly, because that's mad. It's just mad. I'm very surprised to see that headline. Very, very surprised.
Yeah, it is legitimately insane. It's not what I was expecting. I've been covering this story for a few days now, and this is not what I was expecting as a development. I was expecting them just to keep doubling down on it, to be fair.
And the CFO of all people,
of
all positions, the chief financial officer, right? I mean,
it's almost parody. It's beyond parody.
Yeah.
She sold. I'm not sure these numbers are correct, but apparently her total stake is now 0.01%.
Jesus. Yeah, wow.
That just says that she personally has got no faith that her stock is going to appreciate or even stay the same. That it's imminently going to tank. So get out now. That's exactly what that says. That's all that says.
Well,
yeah,
it's
there is nothing else that says, is it? I mean, you're selling 2/3 of your stock.
But I think she pulled the trigger on this on the 19th.
Right.
What's
the director shareholding
4 days ago?
Yeah, this change in director shareholding occurred on April 19th, 2024. So she saw the woke stuff coming out and dumped.
Yeah, no, actually, that would have been. That was
a little while after they first
days after, but literally just days after they doubled down, because I think they started doubling down on the 12th.
Yep,
12th of April on the Warhammer official Twitter account.
So a week later, she's like,
literally a week later, she's like, it's not going back up. My stock is not going back up.
Yep,
I'm out.
I got a theory on this. This Rachel lady who sold all these shares, she probably saw the direction that they're moving and was probably like, she might even voiced her opinion, maybe, who knows, that this is a bad move going in this direction. She waited for the backlash. Backlash came. They doubled down. After they doubled down on it and they didn't change course, and she probably knows a lot of inside information on the direction that they're going before we ever even know it. And she's like, they're going to keep going this way and ignore all this backlash of the entire fan base. So at that point is probably when she was like, man, I'm getting out of this stock, because this thing's gonna freaking tank. People are gonna be leaving. They're not gonna be coming back. This is about to be a dunzos over here. So, I mean, that's just sort of just kind of seeing how all this has played out is kind of how this has kind of come off to me as a possibility, anyways, for her.
I've just had a quick look at the chart, Games Workshop Group PLC, and just had a very quick look at 1 day, 5 day, 1 month, 6 month, year to date sort of stuff, and it's actually hit an all-time low at about the 19th, and it's rallied a tiny bit since then. But
so when she sold it,
yeah, she sold at the absolute rock bottom in recent times. Anyway, I mean, who knows where it's going to go in the future. But as a general rule, sort of year to date, it's about where it was a year ago. It's relatively volatile. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it. But even a year ago, certainly not now.
Now I have to ask you, Bo. Since you would know. It hasn't it grown substantially over the course of the last 10 years, though?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, considering, I'm looking at the 5 year now, and it's sort of 150% roughly, something in that ballpark anyway, over the last 5 years. And over the last, let's say, 20 years, because Games Workshop's been around nearly my whole life, forever. Yeah, right. And it started out at nothing, right? It was a really, really small company, and now
actually they copied 2000 AD. A lot of their designs and their world and how they the lore was actually some of it was incorporated and taken from the Great British Comic 2000 AD, the likes of ABC Warriors and things like that. Just as a background.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm looking at another chart. Since something like 2017, it's actually gone through the roof. So if you bought in sort of 2016, anytime before 2016, you've made tons of money on this stock. Right? If this woman who sold the CFO had her stock from before then, which I imagine she did, probably anyway. The selling now is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? But she's feathered her own nest very well. It seems it just speaks volumes. The CFO does that. It speaks volumes about what she thinks is in the future.
Well, Bo, you might be surprised, but guess who also has Games Workshop stock?
Not BlackRock.
Yeah.
Is it?
I was getting ready to say probably BlackRock.
Bloody hell.
They legit have their fingers in every single woke ass pie around.
They're the heart of darkness, aren't they?
Yes,
they
are.
Really are an evil entity. Like
Larry Fink lives up to his name. Let's just be honest about it.
He is Emperor Palpatine, right? Like, genuinely, that's what he is. Like, he's just trundling along, spreading this evil shit everywhere. Whenever a company does bizarre things and suddenly just starts eating up all this woke nonsense, just look at who's invested in them, or guaranteed, BlackRock will be there, guaranteed. It is almost like a 99.9% certainty at this point in time.
You have to be careful criticizing old Fink because he'll set Greenblatt on you.
This is true, yeah. Sorry, this is all alleged, guys, just as an FYI. Sorry. I heard it maybe, who knows, somewhere. Allegedly.
No, they are the heart of darkness. There's a pattern there, and it's difficult not to notice it, isn't it, really?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's about it on that one. Just as an FYI, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen some fantastic comments in the chat about Bo and his input here. So thank you so much. If you've appreciated Bo's input, we're not ending, but if you've appreciated Bo's input, you can find his own personal channel down below in the description box. So please do check him out there. And then you can also find him on the Lotus Eaters as well. But
I'm also on Twitter, just as Bo Dade, where
Oh, yeah,
handles
sorry.
History Bro 1. And on there, I'm sort of suicidally aggressive most days.
I love it.
If
I've
you're
enjoyed
looking,
it. So it's brilliant.
I'm sort of very, very rude to people all over the place. So
I've enjoyed it. It's been very good. So yeah, please do follow Bo on YouTube and Twitter. Please do. But we will shuffle on. I think we